Hello viewers, myself Dr. P. James Mary, Assistant Professor of Commerce, St. Joseph's College of Arts and Science, Autonomous, Cuddalore. This video is about Introduction to Accounting from the first unit of the paper Financial Accounting 1 for the first year BCom students. Let us have an outline about the content of the video. First, about the Introduction to Accounting, the need for accounting, definition of accounting, attributes and steps of accounting, nature of accounting, objectives of accounting, advantages and limitations of accounting, uses of accounting information, branches of accounting, systems of accounting, methods of accounting, and finally the types of accounting with the golden rules of accounting. Introduction to accounting. In general, an entrepreneur invests capital with the objective of making profits and thereby increasing his or her wealth. In that business, he or she incur expenses to operate business, generate income, deals with the persons like customers and suppliers, and also acquires properties. So, accounting is a system which is meant for measuring business activities, processing of information into reports, and making the findings available to decision makers. The documents which communicate these informations and findings about the performance of the organization in monetary terms are called financial statements. Hence, accounting has rightly been termed as the language of the business. As the basic function of a language is to serve as a means of communication, accounting also serves this function. It communicates the results of the business operations to various parties who have some stake in the business, namely the proprietor of the business, creditors, investors, government, and other agencies. Need for accounting. Yes, there is a need for accounting, which is all the more great for a person who is running a business. He must know what he wants, what he owes, whether he has earned a profit or suffered a loss on account of running a business, what's his financial position, that is, whether he'll be in a position to meet all his commitments in near future or he is in the process of becoming a bankrupt. Hence, accounting was developed to relieve him from the burden of memorizing all the business dealings and for providing necessary information. Definition of accounting. The American Institute of Certified Public Accountants has defined the financial accounting as the art of recording, classifying, and summarizing in a significant manner and in terms of money transactions and events which are of a financial character and interpreting the results thereof. From this comprehensive definition, we can derive the attributes and steps of accounting. First and foremost, attribute and step of accounting is recording. Systematic recording of business transactions is the first step in the process of accounting. It is concerned with the recording of financial transactions in an orderly manner soon after their occurrence in the proper books of accounts. It is usually done in journal, which is to be called as books of original entry. The second attribute and steps of accounting is classification. It is nothing but grouping of transactions or entries on a predetermined basis. It is concerned with the systematic analysis of the recorded data so as to accumulate the transactions of similar type at one place. This function is performed by maintaining the ledger in which different accounts are opened to which related transactions are posted. And the third attribute and step of accounting is summarizing. The classified data in the ledger is presented periodically in a manner which is understandable and useful to the owners as well as the interested parties. It is concerned about preparation and presentation of all the classified data in a manner which is useful to the users. This function involves preparation of trial balance and financial statements such as trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. The trial balance ensures the arithmetical accuracy of recording and classification process of accounting. Trading account reveals the gross profit or loss of the business during the financial year. Profit and loss account shows the net profit of the business for the accounting year. And the balance sheet portrays the financial position of the business as on the date. The fourth attribute of accounting is significant manner, which means all the three basic functions or steps in the process of accounting, namely recording, classifying, and summarizing, must be carried on in a significant manner, because each and every business has its own peculiarities, special problems, and particular requirements. Hence, to manage the business, it needs specific type of information, especially for controlling and decision making. In this, significant manner refers to, as per the requirements of the business firm, it has to be incorporated at every process of accounting. And fifth attribute is in terms of money. As we know, money is the value of exchange and is to be considered as the medium through which all the business transactions are expressed and recorded. All the business transactions are recorded as per their money value. And we know money measurement is considered as the basis for accounting. Sixth attribute is transactions and events are of financial character, which means all those business transactions and events which are financial in character only recorded in books of accounts. All others which have no financial effect are completely ignored in accounting process, even though it is vital for a business organization. For example, sales policies, working conditions, employee morale, and so on. And the last attribute is interpreting. Nowadays, the aforesaid important three functions or steps of accounting, namely recording, classifying, and summarizing, are performed by electronic data processing devices, and the accountant has to concentrate mainly on the interpretation aspects of accounting. The accountants should interpret this statement in such a way that it should be useful to action, that is, it should be useful for a rational decision making. It's usually done through ratios and finance flow statements. In this, the accountant should explain not only what has happened, but also why it happened and what is likely to happen under specified conditions. Nature of accounting. The following aspects comprise the nature of accounting. The first nature is that accounting as a service activity. Its function is to provide quantitative information, primarily financial in nature, about economic entities that is intended to be useful in making economic decisions and in making reasoned choices among the alternative courses of action. As a service activity, accounting collects financial information for the various users for taking decisions and tackling business issues. The second nature is that Accounting as a profession. Yes, accounting is very much a profession. As we all know that a profession is a career that involves acquiring of a specialized formal education before rendering any service. Hence, accounting is also having the same nature as a profession. That is, accounting is a systematized body of knowledge developed with the development of trade and business over the years. The accounting education is being imparted to the examiners by national and international recognized bodies like the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, that is ICAI, New Delhi in India, and American Institute of Certified Public Accountants in USA, etc. The candidate must pass a vigorous examinations in accounting theory and practice, auditing, and business law. The members of the professional bodies usually have their own associations or organizations wherein they are required to be enrolled compulsorily as an associate member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants and fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants. In a way, accountancy as a profession has attained the importance as comparable with that of other professions. The third nature is that accounting as a social force. In early days, accounting was only to serve the interest of the owners, but at present, under the changing business environment, the discipline of accounting and the accountant both have to watch and protect the interest of the other people who are directly or indirectly linked with the operations of modern business. Therefore, safeguarding of public interest can be better be facilitated with the help of proper, adequate, and reliable accounting information, and as a result of it, the society at large is benefited. The fourth nature is that accounting as a language. As the language of business, accounting serves as one of the means of reporting and communicating information about the business. A language and accounting have common features as regards rules and symbols. Both are based and propounded on fundamental rules and symbols. In language, these are known as grammatical rules, whereas in accounting, these are termed as accounting rule. Fifth nature is that accounting as science or art. First, let us discuss about accounting as science. What is science? Science is a systematized body of knowledge which establishes a relationship of cause and effect in the various related phenomena. It is also based on some fundamental principles. Like that, accounting has its own principles. For example, in double entry system, which explains that every transaction has dual aspects. That is, every transaction is having debit and credit. It also lays down rules of journalizing. So we can say that accounting is a science. Next, accounting as an art. What is an art? Art requires a perfect knowledge, interest, experience to do a work efficiently. And also, it teaches us how to do the work in the best possible way by making the best use of the available resources. So, accounting as an art, it also requires knowledge, interest, experience to maintain the books of accounts in a systematic manner. So everybody cannot become a good accountant. Hence, we can conclude that accounting is an art as well as science. The sixth nature of accounting is that accounting as an information system. Accounting discipline will be the most useful one in the acquisition of all the business knowledge in the near future. You will realize that people will be constantly exposed to accounting informations in their everyday life. Hence, accounting information serves both profit-seeking business and also non-profit organizations. Hence, accounting as an information system, it links an information source or transmitter, generally the accountant, and a channel of communication, generally it refers to the financial statements, and set of receivers, which means objectives of accounting. The following are the main objectives of accounting. The first objective of accounting is that to keep systematic records. Accounting is done to keep a systematic record of financial transactions. In the absence of accounting, there would have been terrific burden on the human memory, which in most cases would have been impossible to bear. So, the first objective of accounting is to keep the records of a business systematically. The second objective is to protect the business properties. Accounting provides protection to business properties from unjustified and unwarranted use. This is possible on account of accounting information to the manager or the proprietor, like the amount of proprietor's funds invested in the business, that is the capital of the owner of that business. How much the business have to pay to others, the payables. It refers to the payables. How much the business has to recover from others, that is the receivables to the business. How much the business has in the form of fixed assets, cash in hand, cash at bank, stock of raw material, work in progress, and finished goods, and also assuring that the funds of the businesses are not necessarily kept idle or underutilized. Hence, in this way, accounting protects the properties of the businesses and taking care of the interest of the business person. Third objective is that to ascertain the operational profit or loss. It's nothing but ascertaining the trading result of a business. In this, accounting helps in ascertaining the net profit earned or loss suffered on account of carrying the business. This is done by keeping a proper record of revenues and expenses of a particular period. The profit and loss account is prepared at the end of the period and will help the management, investors, creditors, and other stakeholders in knowing whether the business has proved to be remunerative or not. In case it has not proved to be remunerative or profitable, the cause of such a state of affairs will be investigated and necessary remedial action will be taken. Fourth objective is that to ascertain the financial position of a business. It is not enough to know about the trading results alone. Hence, the businessman must know about his financial position, that is, where he stands, what he owes, and what he owns. This objective is served by the balance sheet, which is to be considered as a statement of assets and liabilities of the business as on the particular date. It serves as an indicator for ascertaining the financial health of the business too. Fifth objective is to facilitate rational decision making. Accounting these days has taken up itself the task of collection, analysis, and reporting of information at the record points of time to the record levels of authorities in order to facilitate rational decision making. What is rational decision making? It is nothing but a balanced, a reasonable choice of alternative course of selection. The sixth objective is that providing information. As an information system for collecting and communicating economic information about the business enterprise, accounting helps the management in taking appropriate decisions. Advantages of accounting. The following are the benefits or advantages of accounting. First one is maintenance of business records. It records all the financial transactions pertaining to the respective year systematically in the books of accounts. It is not possible for management to remember each and every transaction for a long time due to their size and complexities. So, accounting helps in maintaining business records systematically. The second advantage is that preparation of financial statements. Financial statements like a trading account, profit and loss account, balance sheet can be prepared easily if there is a proper recording of financial transactions. Proper recording of all the financial transactions is very important for the preparation of financial statements of a business entity. Third advantage is that it facilitates comparison of financial results of one year with another year, one department with another department easily. Also, the management can analyze the systematic recording of all the financial transactions according to the principles or policies of the business entity. The fourth advantage is that it also to be considered as an aid to decision making. Decision making becomes easier for the management if there is a proper recording of financial transactions. Accounting information enables management to plan its future activities, make budgets, and coordination of various activities in various departments. Fifth advantage is evidence in legal matters. Accounting records is accepted as an evidence in legal matters. Proper and systematic record of financial transaction acts as an evidence in the court of law, which means the financial statements have legal validity. The sixth advantage is that it provides information to related parties. Here, related parties refers to all the stakeholders like owners of the business, creditors, employees, customers, governments, who are all interested to know about the financial information and who want to make use of it. It is made available through accounting. Seventh advantage is that it helps in taxation matters. That is, it facilitates computation of tax to be paid by the business entities. Various tax authorities like income tax, indirect taxes depends on the accounts maintained by the management for settlement of tax matters. The next advantage is valuation of business. For proper valuation of an entity's business, accounting information can be utilized. Thus, it helps in measuring the value of the entity by using the accounting information in case of sale of an entity. The last advantage is that replacement of memory. Proper recording of accounting transactions replaces the need to remember all the transactions of the business. Whenever we are in need of financial information, it is easy to get it from the proper maintenance of the records, accounting records, accounting information. Limitations of accounting. The following are the drawbacks or disadvantages or limitations of accounting. The first limitation is accounting expresses accounting information in terms of money. That is, non-financial transactions cannot be given effect in the books of accounts. Only transactions of financial nature are measurable by the accountant, and financial transactions are expressed in terms of money. Hence, the non-financial transactions will be ignored. So that is the first limitation. The second one is accounting information is based on estimates. There are some accounting data which are based on estimates. Thus, inaccuracy in estimate is possible. The third limitation is that accounting information may be biased. As accountants, personal influence affects the accounting information of the business entity. How it is done? By adopting different methods of inventory valuation, depreciation methods, treatment of revenue and capital expenses, etc., that can be adopted by the accountant for measurement of income of the entity. Hence, the income arrived in certain cases might be incorrect due to the lack of objectivity. The fourth limitation is that recording of fixed assets at the original cost. There can be a difference between the original cost and current replacement cost of a fixed asset due to running out of time, change in technology, and so on. Thus, the balance sheet may not show the true financial status of a business entity. Fifth limitation is that manipulation of accounts. That is, the accountant or management can manipulate or misrepresent the profit of an entity. Sixth limitation is that money as a measurement unit changes in value, because we know there is no stability in the value of money and it is not at all possible. Accounting information will not show the true financial positions if changes in the price level are not considered. So it is also one of the limitation of accounting. Next, let us discuss about uses of accounting information. The basic objective of accounting is to provide information which is useful for the persons both inside and outside the organization. Hence, the uses of accounting information is to be categorized into two: external uses and internal uses. First, let us discuss about external uses of accounting information. Who are the external users? External users are those groups or persons who are outside the organization for whom accounting function is performed. Following can be the various external uses of accounting information. First, investors. Who are investors? Those who are interested in investing money in an organization, who are also having interested in knowing the financial health of an organization, of how safe their investment that is made already and how safe their proposed investment will be. To know the financial health, they need accounting information which will help them in evaluating the past performance and future prospects of the organization. Thus, investors for their investment decisions or depend on accounting information included in the financial statements. They can know the profitability and financial position of organizations in which they are interested to make that investment by making a study on accounting information given in the financial statements of the organization. The second external users are creditors, who are come under creditors. Suppliers of goods and services on credit, bankers and other lenders of money. They also want to know the financial position of a concern before giving loan or granting credit. They want to be sure that the concern will not experience difficulty in making their payment in time. That is, liquid position of the concern is satisfactory. To know the liquid position, they need accounting information relating to current assets, quick assets, and current liabilities, which is available in the financial statements. The third external users are the members of non-profit organizations like schools, colleges, hospitals, clubs, charitable institutions, and so on. They also need accounting information to know how their contributed funds are being utilized and to ascertain if the organization deserves continued support or support should be withdrawn, keeping in view the bad performance shown by the accounting information and diverted to another organization. In knowing the performance of such organizations, criterion will not be profit made, but the main criterion will be the service provided to the society. Fourth external users are tax authorities. Accounting information helps them in computing sales tax, income tax, etc. to be collected from the business units. And fifth user is government. Central and state government are interested in accounting information because they want to know earnings or sales for a particular period for the purposes of taxation. Income tax returns are examples of financial report which are prepared with the information taken directly from accounting records. Governments also need accounting information for compiling statistics concerning business, which in turn helps the government in compiling national accounts. The sixth external users are consumers. Consumers need accounting information for establishing good accounting control so that the cost of production may be reduced with the resultant reduction of prices of goods they buy. Sometimes prices for some goods are fixed by government, so it also needs accounting information to fix reasonable prices so that consumers and manufacturers are not exploited. Prices are fixed, keeping in view fair return to manufacturers on their investment shown in the accounting records. The last external user of accounting information is research scholars. Accounting information, being a mirror of financial performance or financial health of a business organization, it's of immense value to the research scholars who want to make a study to the financial operations of a particular firm. To make a study into that financial operations of a particular firm, the research scholar needs detailed accounting information relating to purchases, sales, expenses, cost of material used, current assets, current liabilities, fixed assets, long-term liabilities, and shareholders' funds, which is available in the accounting records maintained by the firm. The second category of accounting users are internal. Who are internal users of accounting information? They are those persons or groups within the organization. The following are such internal users. First, internal users are the owners of the business. The owners provides fund for the operations of a business. They want to know whether their funds are being properly used or not. They need accounting information to know the profitability and the financial position of the concern in which they have invested their funds. The financial statements prepared from time to time from accounting record depicts them profitability and the financial position of their business. The second internal uses are the management. What is management? Management is the art of getting things done through others. Hence, the management should ensure that the subordinates are doing work properly. Accounting information is to be considered as an aid in this respect because it helps a manager in preparation of various budgets such as sales budget, production budget, cash budget, capital expenditure budget, etc. in appraising the performance of the subordinates, in fixing reasonable selling prices, and so on. Thus, accounting information provides the eyes and ears to management. At last, the internal user is the employees. Employees are interested in the financial information or a financial position of an organization. They serve particularly when payment of bonus depends upon the size of the profit earned. They seek accounting information to know that the bonus being paid to them is. Next, let us discuss about branches of accounting. To meet the ever-increasing demands made on accounting by different interested parties such as owners of the business, management, creditors, taxation authorities, etc., the various branches have come into existence. They are as follows. First one is financial accounting. The object of financial accounting is to ascertain the trading results of a business operations during the particular period, that is the financial year, and to state the financial position as on the date at the end of the period through balance sheet. Second branch is cost accounting. The objective of cost accounting is to find out the cost of goods produced or services rendered by a business. It also helps the business in controlling the cost by indicating avoidable losses and waste. The third one is management accounting. The object of management accounting is to supply relevant information at appropriate time to the management to enable it to take decisions and effect control on the business. The following are the main systems of recording business transactions. First one is cash system. Under the system, actual cash receipts and cash payments are recorded. Credit transactions are not recorded at all until the cash is received or paid actually. The non-trading concerns such as charitable institutions, club, school, etc., and the professionals like lawyer, doctor, chartered accountant, etc., can be mentioned as the best example for cash system of accounting. This system does not make a complete record of financial transactions of a trading period, as it does not record outstanding transactions like outstanding expenses and outstanding incomes. The second system of accounting is mercantile system. It also called as accrual system. Under this, all transactions relating to a particular period are recorded in the books of accounts. That is, in addition to actual receipts and payments of cash, income receivables and expenses payable are also recorded. This system gives a complete picture of the financial transactions of a business, as it makes a record of all the transactions relating to a particular period. This system, being based on a complete record of the financial transactions, discloses correct profit or loss for a particular period and also exhibits true financial position of the business on a particular
Methods of
day. Accounting. There are two methods of accounting. One is single entry, the other one is double entry system. First, let us have a discussion about a single entry system. This system is also known as pure entry system. It does not follow the strict principles of double entry. All cash transactions will be recorded in the cash book, and all transactions of personal nature are simply recorded in a rough book. Since only one cash book is kept, personal and business transactions will be recorded together. In this system, real and nominal account will be ignored, which means only cash and personal accounts are recorded. Profit or loss can be ascertained, but we can't represent the financial position of an organization. In this system, no trial balance is prepared, so arithmetical accuracy of the accounts cannot be verified. The second method of accounting is double entry system. This is more traditional and conventional system for recording transactions in financial accounting. This is also a scientific method which has some rules and principles which must be followed. The basic essence of double entry system is that every transaction will affect two accounts. This is known as the debit and credit rule. That is, every credit entry there must be a corresponding debit entry and vice versa. The double entry system is the one widely used and recognized in the accounting world. All three types of accounts are maintained in this system, namely real accounts, nominal accounts, and personal accounts. Trial balance is prepared in this system, hence, the arithmetic accuracy of the financial records are verified. This system does not have many modifications. It allows for the preparation of a balance sheet which will reflect the financial health of an organization. In this system, it is easy to detect frauds and errors. Let us discuss about types of accounts. In accounting, there are three types of accounts. One is personal, second one is real, and third one is nominal account. First, let us discuss about personal account. These accounts type are related to persons, and these persons may be natural person like Raja, Rajesh, Ramesh, Suji. So their accounts will be in their name. These persons can also be artificial persons like partnership firm, companies, bodies, corporate, and association of persons, etc. For example, RNS Trading Company, XYZ Banking Limited, C Company Limited, and so on. There can be personal representative accounts as well. For example, in case of salary, when it is payable to employees, it is known how much amount is payable to each of the employee, but collectively it is called as salary payable account. The rule for generalizing this account is debit the receiver and credit the giver. For example, goods sold to Suresh is the transaction. In this transaction, there are two accounts. One is Suresh account, the other one is sales account. Suresh is a personal account. As being a natural person, his account will be debited. So the journal entry for this transaction will be debit Suresh account, credit sales account. So Suresh account debtor to sales account. The second type of account is real account. This account type are related to assets or properties. They are further classified as tangible real account and intangible real account. Tangible real account include assets that have a physical existence and can be touched. For example, building account, cash account, salary account, land account, inventory account, and so on. Intangible real accounts. These assets do not have physical existence and cannot be touched. However, this can be measured in terms of money and have value. For example, goodwill, patent, copyright, trademark, etc. The rules for a journalizing real account is that debit what comes into business, credit what goes out of the business. For example, furniture purchased by the business for cash. This is the transaction. In this transaction, there are two accounts involved. One is furniture account, the other one is cash account. So the journal entry for this transaction is debit furniture account and credit cash account. So furniture account debtor to cash account. Third type of account is nominal account. These accounts type are related to income or gains and expenses or losses. For example, rent account, commission received account, salary account, wages account, conveyance account, etc. The rules for journalizing nominal account is debit all the expenses and losses of the business, credit all the incomes and gains of the business. For example, salary paid to employees of a business. This is the transaction. In that, there are two accounts involved. One is salary account, the other one is cash account. Salary account will be debited when expenses are incurred, whereas when an entity receives any interest, discount, or any income, these are credited whenever these are received by the business. So for this transaction, salary paid to employees, salary account debtor to cash account will be the journal entry, being the expenses met out by the business. If the business receives income in the form of interest or discount, whatever it is, cash is coming inside of the business. So the journal entry will be cash account debtor to interest account. Okay viewers, in this video we learnt about the introductory aspects of accounting. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Stay home, stay safe. See you in the next